boys put their paws on. You gon' tell them that they go a little bit of blows on. Put them on the battlefields where they fit. And ignorant niggas just tryna miss what I said, Your man's a bitch, you put a purse on him. Get them wild niggas throwing red dots on them. I'm the general, I can be worth something. My soldiers is ready to put a black house on them. Bring them to the wake, quick them with a requiem and throw them in the pit and throw a little bit of dirt on them.
Avengers!
Dirt on them, throw a little dirt on them. Trigger fingers in the air, put a little work on them. Work on them, put a little work on them. Assemble. Put a little dirt on them. Put a little dirt on them.
What up, YouTube Massive, Vlog Massive? We are literally back. How is everyone literally doing, man? What is going on? So that was a very cool, dope video. The edit, the energy, the hype was insane. Loved it 100%. Created by the man himself, Vodal, on YouTube. Hope I pronounced that right. Make sure you go check out their YouTube channel, or his or her YouTube channel. High up. Give them a follow, and of course question, what did you think of that video, and what was your favorite moment seen from that video? It brought back memories, hype, intensity, emotions. I was like, this video was so sick, so cool. The edits are dope. In today's new vlog, we're going to be chatting about literally the review, or my quick review of Invincible, the final episode of Invincible, episode I believe 8. What a super dope episode it was. And then I'm going to show you basically the new comics that I grabbed a few days ago. So with that being said, Invincible, literally episode 8, the last episode of season 1 was great. I mean, there's nothing I can say apart from it was just raw. It was bloodshed. It was total. It was a bloodfest, and it was a serious bloodfest. I mean, the way Omni-Man literally destroyed Mark mentally, physically, spiritually, he destroyed him, tormented him. He just really, really ripped him to shreds, just like in the comics. And it was so well done. And you can imagine literally Mark's emotional response, or like the bomb that went off on his mind when he found out his dad was the guy that killed the Guardians of the Globe. He saw him kill the Immortal, well, ripped him in half in front of him, and he told him about the Vulturite history, which was done very well. Like, they really incorporated the origin of the Vulturites within a couple of minutes, which was so amazingly well done. And he basically told Mark, this is what we have to do. We're going to take over the planet, and pow. You know, Mark was like, no, ain't doing it. And then they started battling. I mean, all I can say about this particular episode, I'm going to keep it very short and sweet. It was just total bloodshed. I mean, Mark got destroyed, like I said, mentally, physically, spiritually, eyes popped out, teeth broken. But at the end, you know, Omni-Man, his dad, came to his senses, and he just saw like, well, what have I done to my son? And basically he just flies off and cries, and he gets very emotional, and he just, you know, flies away. So that whole episode was very traumatic. It was just very bloodshed. I've never seen so much carnage and blood being spilt in a TV show in my life, period. You know, in the comics I've seen it, you know, in the Invincible comics. And if you're not reading Invincible, the comics, man, go check it out, go read it. It came to an end a long time ago, but it's a very, very dope it's a very well put together comic. When you read Invincible, or when you watch the TV show, you'll understand what's missing from the comic book movies, TV shows, and everything else. It's really, really mature. It's intense. It's emotional. It is one of the best comic books I have ever read in my whole entire life, and I hope one day it becomes big like Batman, Superman, that particular franchise, because it should be, man. It is a big, big movement. And what's really funny about Invincible is it's like no one knew about Invincible before the TV show. Like, if you never read the comics, like, you would have never known. And it was kind of strange because it was one of the biggest comics from Image Comics, period. And no one hardly knew about it. And here's something: they've never ever reprinted a single issue of Invincible the comic, apart from when the show was about to get aired on Amazon. They reprinted issue 1. But going back to the episode, gritty, dark, subtle. You know, Mark got trashed. I mean, like he the funny thing is, it's like he gets angry. He misses his dad, even though the carnage and the madness that happened, you know, within him, with his dad and so forth, he still misses his dad. So I look forward to seeing Nolan, Omni-Man come back in season 2 or season 3, because Invincible has been picked up for season 2 and season 3, 100%. One of the best comic book movies. So one of the best comic book TV shows ever made. 100%. You have to watch the series, and I'd recommend everyone pick up the graphic novels. Pick up Invincible. The Invincible Compendium Volume 1, and start reading. You know, or you can buy the little graphs and read it, but I would do justice. If you've got a little bit of cash to spare, get the bigger ones and read it. You can get them in hardbacks, but they're more expensive. I believe they also cover more issues, I believe, but it's an amazing series, an amazing book, and I cannot wait for season 2. So basically yesterday or a couple of days ago was New Comic Book Day, and literally these are the comics that I pretty much grabbed. Check it out. So this comic here, funny enough, the reason I grabbed this, I bumped into this dude at Forbidden Planet, and he was saying, you know, this is you know, a very cool book, and they apparently have Boom Studios have a contract with, I believe, with Netflix or something like that. But what caught my attention was basically just the energy, basically, of the cover of this book, and just the whole occult vibes, and literally the chains that are there, which is quite interesting, right? It's a swamp, right? So, you know, I look forward to reading this and seeing what it's really about. I have no clue what the book is about. I never heard of it until literally Thursday, when I bumped into this dude and he recommended me this book. And this book is called, I believe, Balslick. And he also, funny enough, also recommended me this book called The Nice House on the Lake, which is supposed to be one of, I think, DC's really first dark comic books. And I believe it's the same creative team. He was saying to me that did that book, you know, Something is Killing the Children, which I wanted to grab, but I never did. So this is called the Nice House on the Lake, which I literally look forward to reading. So I don't know what these symbols basically are, but I'm looking forward to finding out what they are. Of course, Noctara, which is a word I can never bloody pronounce. I grabbed literally issue 4, and I grabbed the second print, basically, or the third print, sorry, of issue 2. Just to let you know, I haven't even read issue 1 or 2, so I got issue 1, and then I never grabbed issue 2. Then I grabbed issue 3, and I was like, oh, I need issue 2 to read everything at once. Because one thing about comic books, if you miss one issue, like, you're literally screwed 100%. So this is basically my completed set. So I've got issue 2, issue 4, issue 3, and of course issue 1, which I look forward to reading because I've been hearing so much hype about, of course, what do you call it, Noctara, written by the man himself, Scott Snyder. I do love the way he writes. I loved his run on Swamp Thing and Animal Man. So yeah, these are the books I pretty much grabbed this Wednesday. I guess the question to you beautiful people, what comics did you grab on this New Comic Book Day? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you've never picked up a comic book in your life and you've seen this video, do you have any interest in any of these books that I've just showcased right now? Leave your comments down below, and also let me know. Speaking of that, comic books, I've also literally been reading, of course, catching up on this, The Eternals, the complete collection, illustrated by Jack Kirby, and literally written by Jack Kirby. So we all know I was gonna say Invincible. We all know basically that the Eternals movie is dropping at the end of the year, unless it gets postponed, who knows. But this is the complete collection that you want to get if you want to understand the source material, the substance of who and what the Eternals really are. Now you can get this in volume 1 and volume 2, but I decided to pretty much get the whole complete collection, which set me back literally £33.50. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the origin stories. I'm enjoying the artwork, the arcs. I just love it. I really, really, really do. I mean, when you see things like this, something like this so simple, and the reason I say this is so simple is because they break down the whole origin of the Eternals in this particular panel. So you have pretty much the gods, the Celestials, who came down to Earth, experimented basically on the monkeys. And from the monkeys, they created basically three races. You have the deviants, an ever-changing and destructive failure, structurally unstable. Each new generation of deviant appeared in new and more and monstrous ways. His lot was consistent war. Then they created the human species, bared with true balance of structure and disposition. Although he was a destroyer, the humans were capable of building for peace. And you have literally the Eternals. He was more child of the gods than of Earth. He reached for the universe. So that's pretty much what the movie is going to be about to a degree. I'm kind of really excited to see how they incorporate pretty much the origins of the Eternals and the human race in the MC, because if the Eternals are the ones that pretty much have been here for thousands of years, right, then they're going to be pretty much the originators of everything. So could they be the one that will create the X-Men? Who knows? Or could it be the deviants that create the X-Men? I haven't got a clue. But for them to be on Earth from the beginning of time, then they've seen a lot of things and they know a lot of things. So the MCU just got literally weirder. But going back to it, simple origin story. Celestials come down. They experiment particularly on the monkeys, as we saw here, and they create three races, which is amazing. So, like, the reason I say this is because of comic books right now, sometimes they drag to give you an origin story. It takes so long, but like I said, within 1 or 2 pages, you understand pretty much the origin story of the Celestials. And then pretty much when you go deeper, you get more in-depth on who the Celestials are, why they've come back to Earth, and what their goal is. But I'm really enjoying it. I love the artwork, and I'm just digging. I just love it. I'm a sucker for color and artwork. I love this. This is my type of artwork, type of color. Reminds you of the colors in Doctor Strange. Look at that, the Night of the Demons. Pretty cool. But I've been reading this and I'm digging it. I'm enjoying it. It's amazing. It's really nice. So the reason I basically have recommended you to read this is basically because of this. So what Marvel will do is, right, the Eternals movie is coming at the end of the year. The substance and the source material, the origin story, will be taken from this, but it'll be tweaked up, of course, and changed in regards to the MCU. So the source material, the essence of these characters, their powers, who they are, will be taken from this particular collection, right? And of course, there's also there's the second volume of the Eternals, and I forgot who the creative team is, but you can pick that up also. But this is the one that you want to get first. So going back to what I was saying, what Marvel will do is they'll take the source material from pretty much from this, and then what they're currently doing is they re-released the ongoing Eternals book. And the reason they're doing this is because when you get the source material from this, you are also keeping the old school peeps who have read this for many, many years, who've been to comic books for a long time, happy. So you get them involved. But because obviously you want to get more people involved basically into your comics and your movies, the new generation of comic book readers and, people who may have just picked up, who may just watched all of the Marvel movies but have never picked up a Marvel comic book, you want to get them involved too. So what do? You re-release the comic with a new arc, a new storyline. You may tweak up the characters to a degree, their powers and so forth. Just like I've heard now, they're trying to make what's his name? In the Eternals, is the Black Knight, I believe, or the Dark Knight, or the Black Knight, I believe. He's supposed to be as powerful as Thor now. So that's kind of interesting. So again, going back to it, they'll take the source material from this and the current source material and arcs and possible storylines from the current comic book and actually mash that up, change it up for the MCU and give you basically the Eternals movie. Just like they did with basically Infinity War and Endgame. So those two movies were a combination of the Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity Wars, I believe the Infinity Legacy? No, Infinity, which basically was one of the later Marvel Infinity arcs that incorporated the children of Thanos. So you have all of these basically, all like you have all of these comics. Imagine Infinity War, the Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity, and then you have what was the other one? Infinity. I forgot what it was. It's when they actually raced to find the Infinity Stones. I forgot what that particular chapter was within Marvel's history, but they combined all of those comics, gave you 2 movies, but then tweaked it up because they had to change it up because you would have obviously knew what was going to happen if you've read the comics. So that's why I advise everyone to pretty much to cop this, read it, ingest it, and then you'll be ready basically in regards to what they do when they bring out the Eternals movie. And it's good because when you read the substance and the source material, you know when they change things up in the movie, you understand. Or if they change like certain characters or certain story arcs to a degree, or if they incorporate, I don't know, like new powers, whatever it might be, you're like, hold on a second, that's not in the comics, that's not in, like, what are they doing? But overall, that's pretty much what I'd recommend to, of course, read if you want to get caught up with the Eternals saga and so forth. With that being said, beautiful people, what's I gonna say? Thank you for watching. Thank you for consuming. As always, follow, share, like, drop your comments down below. Let me know what your best moment was from this vlog, and I'll catch you lot literally tomorrow with a brand new video. But yeah, with that being said, thank you for watching and peace out.